How to wash merino wool. We love merino wool for its natural odor-resisting and moisture-managing abilities. Whether we're running, biking, hiking trails, hunting, and skiing or snowboarding, smart wool socks, base layers, and apparel help us keep us comfy and dry all day long. Merino wool is one of the higher quality wools, known for its exceptional softness. It's made from merino sheep, which have a very fine wool fiber that is ideal for the elastic and breathable knits used in many sporting and cold weather garments. While merino wool has the benefit of being largely wrinkled, odored, and stain resistant, it still needs to be washed on occasion, especially when it has been soiled or heavily sweated on. Find out how to protect this fine natural fiber as you clean it through gentle washing, drying, and stain removal. Welcome to Best Choices. This video will tell you how to hand washing, using a washing machine, drying and pressing merino wool, and removing stains. Now let's talk about the process. Things you should know. 1. Use a wool-specific soap or detergent and warm water to clean merino wool. 2. To hand wash, soak the wool in soapy water for 3 to 5 minutes and rinse. If you prefer to use the washing machine, select the delicate cycle. 3. Place the clean wool on a dry towel and roll it up to remove excess water. Then, lay the wool out flat to dry. Method 1. Hand washing. Number 1. Get a wool-specific soap. Merino wool requires a very gentle washing liquid that will prevent bleeding of its color or damage to its fine fibers. Pick a shampoo, soap, or detergent that's especially formulated for wool, like Woolite or laundress wool and cashmere shampoo. Never use fabric softeners or products with bleach in them on wool. In a pinch, you can use a mild soap with a neutral pH, like a clear, fragrance-free dishwashing fluid for sensitive skin. Number 2. Fill a basin with soap and warm water. Measure out your wool wash soap according to the guidelines on its packaging. Add it to a basin with enough warm water to cover your garments. The water should be between 30 and 40 degrees Celsius, about 85 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. If you have a really large merino wool product, consider washing it in your bathtub or using a soak setting on your washing machine so that you have a big enough basin. Number 3. Soak your wool for 3 to 5 minutes. Completely submerge your merino wool garment in the water and let it soak for 3 to 5 minutes. Then, swish the water through the wool garment slowly and gently for about 1 minute. Don't let your wool soak for more than a handful of minutes, since doing so can warp the fibers. Number 4. Rinse with warm water. Rinse your wool several times with a gentle stream of warm water to get the detergent out. Keep rinsing it until the water runs mostly clear of suds. Make sure that your rinse water is the same temperature as the water in which you soaked your merino wool. Number 5. Squeeze out excess water. Take the garment and squeeze it to get as much water out as possible. Do not twist or wring your merino wool to drain the water. Did this video help you? Let's comment below, yes or no. Method 2. Using a washing machine. Number 1. Wash smaller garments in the washing machine. It's best to avoid washing larger garments, like sweaters or leggings, in a washing machine. However, smaller merino products, like hats, socks, or mittens, will be able to hold their shape better. Number 2. Wash with light colors and fabrics. Prevent any potential damage from your merino wool bleeding by washing it with similarly colored garments, such as darks, brights, or lights. It's also a good idea to wash it with clothing of similar weights or harder fabrics, like canvas or denim, for the sake of minimizing the pilling of the wool fibers. To be completely safe, consider washing your merino wool by itself. Keeping it separate from other laundry will preserve it and your other garments for longer. Number 3. Turn garments inside out. To help keep your merino wool from pilling or getting fuzzy on the outside, wash it inside out. Number 4. Use a wool-specific washing liquid. Merino wool necessitates a very gentle soap that will minimize bleeding or fiber damage. Wash it with a shampoo or soap that's especially formulated for wool or with a mild detergent that is free from bleach and fabric softeners. Number 5. Pick the right cycle. You want to select a gentle, delicate, or knit cycle so that the rotation of the machine will not damage the wool fibers or shape of your garment. Note, if you cannot control the speed and/or temperature of your washing machine, stick to washing your merino wool by hand. Number 6. Set the right temperature. You want to wash your merino wool at a consistent warm, low, or cold temperature. Warm, about 30 degrees Celsius or 85 degrees Fahrenheit, is usually the best bet, but be sure to check the care instructions of your garment's tag to ensure you have the right temperature guidelines for your particular product. Never change temperatures for your rinse cycle. To avoid shrinkage and felting, you need to keep the temperature of your entire wash cycle constant. Either do all warm water or all cold water, never a mix of the two. Never use hot water since high temperatures can seriously shrink your wool. Number 7. Remove from the machine immediately. As soon as the washing cycle is complete, take your merino wool out of the machine and dry it according to the care instructions. Leaving it wet in a pile of other laundry will stretch and misshape the fibers. Did this video help you? Let's comment below, yes or no. Method 3. Drying and pressing merino wool. Number 1. Do not use a drying machine. Unless the washing instructions on your merino wool product specifically indicate that you can use a dryer, do not tumble dry it. If the care instructions do permit it, be sure to use a gentle, low heat setting. Number 2. Never wring your merino wool. Twisting this fabric can seriously stretch it and leave your garment misshapen. Squeeze out excess water without twisting the wool. Number 3. Roll it in a towel. Get out the excess moisture in your merino wool by laying it in a dry towel and rolling it up. Gently squeeze the roll to remove as much of the remaining water as possible. Number 4. Lay flat to dry. The best way to preserve the shape and texture of your garment is to reshape your merino wool while it's still damp and then let it dry on a flat surface. You can use a flat drying rack for this. Some racks have a mesh surface that's especially designed for garments that need to lay flat. You can also simply lay your garment on top of a dry towel on a flat surface, like a floor or bed. You don't want to hang merino wool on a hanger, line, or hook because the weight of the wet fibers can lead to sagging and stretched knits. Number 5. Keep it away from heat. Don't leave drying merino wool near a heat source, like a radiator, or in direct sunlight. You should dry your wool in the open air and away from heat to prevent shrinkage. Number 6. If necessary, use a steam iron on a wool setting. Merino wool is not prone to wrinkling, but if you need to press it, wait until it's completely dried. Then, use a steaming iron on a wool setting to press out the wrinkles. Don't move the iron back and forth over the wool. Instead, lower the iron onto the fabric, press for a few seconds, and then lift it directly up. Repeat this process until you have the wrinkles out. If you have a delicate knit, cover the fabric with a clean, dampened dish towel before pressing it. This will protect the fibers. Did this video help you? Let's comment below, yes or no. Method 4. Removing stains. Number 1. Brush your merino wool. Use a soft bristled brush to gently remove any surface dirt, dust, or soil that could lead to a stain. Doing so will prevent any buildup that might dull the color and texture of your garment. Number 2. Spot clean stains immediately. Rinse the affected area with cold water and/or seltzer water to keep the stain from setting. Dab it out with a dry, soft, clean cloth. Avoid rubbing the stained area with your cloth since this will only encourage the stain to set into the fabric. For particularly stubborn stains, treat them with wool-specific soap. Dab a small amount of your mild wool detergent onto the affected area. Let it soak for a few minutes, and then rinse it with cold water. Number 3. Use white spirit for grease stains. Remove any excess grease with a metal spoon. Then, soak a section of a clean, soft cloth with white spirit or mineral spirit. Gently blot the affected area until the grease comes up. Did this video help you? Let's comment below, yes or no. Tips. 1. You may also dry clean your merino wool on a very occasional basis. Having it dry cleaned is reasonable when necessary to remove stubborn oil-based stains. 2. If a lot of dye is coming out in your rinse water, add 1 teaspoon of salt, which will act as a dye fixative. Warnings. 1. Always check the washing instructions on the labels or tags of wool garments and products, and follow the directions closely. Some will require you to use cold water or have other special instructions for washing and drying. Did this video help you? Let's comment below, yes or no.